And so we've reached the season finale of Green Pillars. This was our how-to edition where we brought you information on how to use agro inputs the right way and at the right time. And this was through the help of Agchem Limited. The factory is right behind me, and there's a reason why we're here tonight. So tonight's episode is going to be very interesting. We are actually doing the draw for the 40 lucky customers that are going to walk away with an Agchem pack. You would have seen the ad on TV, and today is the day that we're going to do the draw for you guys in this episode. But before we get into that, we want to look back at some of our top moments of this season. Now, we've had 12 amazing weeks. We've taken you to Nosori, to Nambitu, and to Taveuni, and we hope you've enjoyed the journey. But there were some highlights of our season. So how about tonight, right now, we look at some of our top moments of that, and when we come back, we're going to be doing the draw for the 40 lucky customers. So don't go anywhere. We hope you stay with us throughout our final episode for this season.
Our premiere episode focused on soil pH levels and soil health. Sayed and Manda both spoke about the importance of using the right agro inputs to better your soil's ability to feed your crops and veggies. We learned that the best way to determine what your soil needs is by first testing out the pH level of acidity or alkalinity. Agchem stock a handy tool called the Soil pH Meter that can give you an instant reading in just seconds. In episode 2, we visited Sunia Rokolekutu's Ndalo farm at Vuthi Road South in Nosori. The Agchem team put together a program for Sunia after testing his soil and determining what products he would need. Sunia used growth formula to dip his Ndalo suckers in, powdered lime to raise soil pH, and Tete blend as the base fertilizer before starting with the planting. 2 months later, his farm was looking fantastic. In episode 3, climate change expert Dr. Andrew McGregor joined us to discuss climate change and food security in Fiji and the Pacific Islands, with its impacts and opportunities. We also visited our friend Sant Kumar at Bula Agro in Nandi to learn how we can protect our seedlings during cyclones and adverse weather conditions. In episode 4, we learned why experts were calling breadfruit the crop of the future. We made our way to Ndrasa Lotoka to meet model farmer Prakash Chand and check out his awesome breadfruit, fruit trees, banana, papaya, sugarcane, peanut and vanilla orchard alongside his seedling nursery. Prakash was what the expert team called a model farmer with a model farm, something which is primarily used to research or demonstrate various agricultural techniques, with any economic gains being an added bonus. Prakash and his son single-handedly worked hard to create their orchards, even integrating mixed cropping methods to maximize their yields, inspiring other farmers to do the same. Episode 5 had us heading to Taveuni to pay another visit to the Tutu Rural Training Center to learn how they make their compost tea. Compost tea is a mixture of nutrients and oxygen-loving bacteria, fungi, nematodes, and other microbes that live in finished compost. It takes time to separate these organisms from compost, which is why compost tea is made by steeping compost in water for a day or more. And we learned that for those who didn't have time to make their own compost tea, Agchem shared information about their own product called Protect Sea Trace, a seaweed concentrate ready to use that you could purchase from them. We also learned about the harmful effects of the dreaded Kava dieback disease that affects farmers and how to combat it. In episode 6, the Agchem team set up a cucumber demo plot at Farmer Joe's farm in Nambitu, Singatoka. The demo plot was divided into 2 parts. The first half was to use Agchem products to show the farmers the difference using the right products can make, and the second half was to showcase the normal farmer practice, something that Farmer Joe had been following his whole life. The vegetables planted were eggplant, long bean, and cucumber, all off-season veggies that were not sure to survive the current monsoon season. Episode 11 showcased the final results of Farmer Joe's demo plot, and well, the vegetables spoke for themselves. While the farmer's normal practice side was slow to start, endured fungal disease and were slightly less fruitful, the Agchem side thrived. The produce grew incredibly well and allowed Joe to harvest multiple times. some of which he is continuing to do today. How to use insecticides was the theme of episode 7. Farmer Bobby and I faced a similar insect problem of scale insects and whiteflies, for which the Agchem team had solutions. White oil and bifenthrin were the insecticides of choice for the insects we were dealing with. These products are also available at Agchem and their distributors. In episode 8, we learned about the different types of fungicides and how to read some of the signs that your plants will show when infested with fungal diseases. We also visited Sunia's Nalo farm 3 months after our first visit to see the damages brought on by TC Ana. We were excited to see how the plants had remarkably bounced back, considering the disaster they had endured. Episode 9 focused on the different types of knapsack sprayers and applicators available at Agchem, complete with demonstrations on the different ones. We learned the importance of using the right equipment in order to save costs and maximize on product usage when spraying your plants. Not forgetting our floriculturist, episode 10 featured the Greenhouse Fiji, where we got to see their beautiful nursery and speak to Mela about how they managed to keep their plants happy and healthy. We also met with the chairperson of the board for the Floriculture Association of Fiji about the kind of assistance they offer to the floriculturists in Fiji. Last week's episode featured the Farmers' Field Day in Nambitu, Singatoka, where the Fiji Crop and Livestock Council spoke to the farmers about the sort of help they can offer. The farmers who were registered with the FCLC also encouraged the participants to register and spoke about how the organization had assisted them through difficult times. If you missed out on any of these episodes, they're available to watch now on our YouTube and Facebook pages.
We hope you enjoyed looking at some of the highlights of this season. Now, when we come back from break, we'll be doing the draw with the help of a police officer, and we'll be drawing the 40 winners that are going to walk away with an Agchem pack, so don't go anywhere. Bulabinaka, and welcome back. Now, as promised, tonight we are doing the draw for the 40 lucky customers that are going to walk away with an Agchem prize pack. Now, these are customers that did buy a single or multiple Agchem products at either the Agchem factory or at the distributors, and they entered via the entry bins with their receipts. Now, with the prize pack that we're going to be giving away today, these are items that we've used throughout the season. You've seen a little bit on how to use it, and if you are one of the lucky winners tonight, you can give it a try and see if it works for you. And if you're not sure, you can always call Agchem and find out how to use it. But we are standing by with Officer Nadar at the back here, and he'll be witnessing and making sure everything goes smoothly. And Sayed is also standing by to pick the first 10 winners. So over to you, Sayed.
Let me pick the first winner. Sushila Naidu. Raya Masivo. Ane. Avnil C. Okay, from now I'll hand over this to Sarah, who's working for Agchem, and she was also featured in one of the episodes, season 1. She'll do the rest of the accounting.
All right, now while Sarah is standing behind us ready to go, Sarah, you may start picking the winners from your end. We're going to talk to Sayed about the products that the winners are going to be walking away with. Now, Sayed, just starting out, I'm going to pick the champion, the hero of our season, which is the liquid lime, and we've talked about this quite a lot. But just for anyone who didn't know, or this is the first time they're watching the show maybe, could you please tell me, just in a nutshell, what this product does?
This product was previously called liquid lime. The name changed to Protect Kel. And this is certified organic. We import this from Australia. This is a very good product to increase your soil pH. If your soil pH is very low, then this is the product you need to use to increase the soil pH. If you're facing any problems, any deficiencies in crop, the crop is not growing well, the leaves are turning brown or yellow, this shows the crop, the soil lacks, the soil is acidic. So we normally carry the soil pH meter with us whenever we go out to the field. We normally do the soil test first, and normally it turns acidic because farmer, they normally depend on the NPK, urea, the chemical fertilizers, but they don't realize it damages the soil in 2 to 3 years time.
Yes.
Like maybe if they use the NPK, urea on a new land, they'll be very happy. But maybe in another 2 3 years, they'll start complaining that the crop size is getting small, it's not growing well, the leaves are turning yellow or brown. That's all due to soil acidity.
Right.
And it comes up from fertilizer. So if you use the right agro inputs, you won't face any problem. You remember Nambitu, how he managed to get the cucumber out of this. He started with this.
Right. The hero.
Yes. So he started with the soil PA, the Protect Cal,
Yeah.
and ended up with all those fertilizers. But this is the
That-
first
that
product
was the
we
first
started
thing that we
start
used,
with.
that we- yes.
We have two types of lime. Both are certified organic. We have liquid lime and powdered lime.
Okay.
So we normally recommend liquid lime for the places where it's normally dry, hardly rains. And the powder one, we normally recommend for wet land areas.
We've seen it. We've seen the results on the show. Based off of this, we saw Sunia's farm. We saw Farmer Joe's farm in Nambitu. So we've seen the results of this. So why don't you try it out for yourselves? And 35 lucky people are gonna be trying it, but we do still have 5 more winners to pick. So before we continue with that, we're just gonna call the big boss, Mr. Ben, to come down and just pick the other 5. And at the same time, we're just gonna talk a little bit more about the products that are here. Up next, we have the Protect Seed Trace. This was also referred to by the Agchem team as Activate, and say you can tell me why.
This contains seaweed concentration.
Right.
This is also certified organic and from same supplier, FedPro from Australia. This contains bacteria, and once it's mixed with water, it activates. Currently, they are sleeping in sleeping mode. Once they are mixed with water, it activates. So it increases the number of microbes. It unlocks the lock-up nutrients in the soil.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I see that Big Boss is here now. We have 5 more winners to pick, and then we're done with our 40 winners.
Okay. Shinal Ram. Semisi Dawai.
All right, and there we go. That's our 40 lucky winners that have been picked. They're all in these boxes, and the Agchem team are gonna get in contact with you. Thank you for writing your mobile numbers. So we'll get in touch with you, and you can pick up your prize packs as soon as they are ready. And now we still have some fertilizers to talk about. Now we know that Agchem is moving into the direction of organic fertilizers, and they do have a number of them available. So these are also part of the prize pack that you can be walking away with. So Sayed, maybe you can tell me about the Pro Phosphate.
Phosphate. This is also certified organic,
Yeah.
and this is very good for root development. So if you're thinking of using anything as basal means you put the fertilizer in the soil and then you put your seedlings.
So that's the first thing you put in,
first
right?
thing, yeah. So I prefer use something like this. We don't recommend farmers to use chicken manure because it contains hyaluronic acid and disease and the insects,
Right.
which later harm the crops.
Okay.
So I prefer use something like this because it's very good for basil, and you can use it for instead of chicken manure. It's
Right.
very good for root development.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the carbon mineral. Before we used to call this L-Rock number 3. Most of the farmers are aware with this name, carbon mineral. This is also certified organic, and it has 16 food, and it's very good on root crops. And I still remember Sunya's farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used this fertilizer in Sunya's farm, and there's another farm in Wenimbuku as basil.
Yeah.
And the new shoots which came after Cyclone Anna, and it's like the nearby farms, we couldn't believe the way it's growing.
We went to see it. It was amazing.
Yeah, both places, the
Couldn't
farm
believe it.
now is growing very well.
Yeah.
It also works very good as basil,
Okay.
and it's also certified organic. Has the logo here. You can also use this on fruiting crops like eggplant and other fruiting crops.
Yeah.
It also contains this much of nutrients because the soil won't tell you that I need calcium, I need
Yeah.
copper. So like it's a complete package.
Yeah.
So you can just add it to the soil, and the soil and no, the crops can benefit from any nutrients which they lack.
Okay.
This is Tate blend. This is if you after NPK, so I prefer use something like this.
Okay.
This is a sustainable fertilizer. It's an environmental friendly
Yeah.
product. It contains NPK and plus another 13 trace elements.
Right.
So if you're thinking of using NPK, just try using something like this because this also contains calcium.
Right, and it's coated with organic
carbon. Yes.
Right. All that information is stuck in my head because of how many times we've spoken about it, and I love it.
If you're thinking of using the urea,
Yeah.
so try using the black urea. This is the same normal white urea, but it's coated with organic carbon.
Right.
So it doesn't leach, it doesn't evaporate. It stays in the ground for quite a long time compared to
So
the
it's slow release as well.
yes.
Yeah.
Just a teaspoon per plant.
Yeah.
All these fertilizers we normally recommend farmers to apply 1 tablespoon per plant, 20 grams. But the black urea is very strong, no? It needs just a teaspoon per plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Very
then-
rich.
And lastly, we have the
Then
polyfert.
lastly we have the polyfert. You
Right.
can use it on your flower if you're doing flowers. If you're planting any fruiting crops, you can use this. It's a plant food.
Right.
It contains this much of nutrients, and you can spray this late in the afternoon. Spray if you're planting cash crops, so you can apply once a week.
Yeah.
It helps in flowering and fruiting.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're doing ornamental flowers, then you can spray once every 2 weeks. It helps in flowering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, whatever is like once you spray, whatever goes on the leaves, it will be taken by the leaves. Whatever falls on the ground will be taken by the ground. It's just 1 teaspoon into 5 liter water.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And these are the extremely amazing products that you're going to be walking away with to the 40 winners that have been picked. Your names are here in these boxes, and the team will be getting in contact with you shortly. But this is a great way just to try it out for yourselves and see if they work for you. If they do, please do come on down to the Agchem warehouse here in Wailanda in Lami. And if that's too far for you, we do have other distributors all around the country, even in the north. Thank you so much to Sayed. Manda couldn't make it here tonight, but thank you to Manda for going with us to all our trips. Dr. Andrew McGregor, who was also here, we appreciate that. But we're just going to go to a short break, and when we come back, we're going to speak to Mr. Ben and just wrap up the whole season and talk about the reason why he decided he wanted to do this show and help educate farmers on improving on how to improve their farms. Now, just to wrap up our last episode of this season, we're going to go and talk to the man that made all this very possible for us. And here is Mr. Ben Nunt. He's the managing director of Agchem. We actually met him in season 1, and we haven't really gotten to speak to him again since. So, Ben, how are you?
Good, Sanya.
It's very, very good to see you.
Likewise, yeah.
And we've had a lot of fun this season, and we've really enjoyed ourselves. Thank you for making it very possible for us to do this. Now, you are very passionate about the work that you do, and that is why I've quite enjoyed working on this show with you. But there is a reason why you do the things you do for the farmers. Could you please tell me a little bit about that?
First of all, Sonia, if you look at most of the farmers are still in the old phase or using chemical fertilizers and all, and I think the world has moved.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is, reason for this TV show is to train them up, let them know the new products which is better. From chemical you can go to sustainable farming, and from sustainable we can go to organic farming.
Yeah.
Which we have products here. And for farmers, when they start using sustainable and organic products, they can make more money.
Yeah.
They can do products off season, and that's where the money is for the farmers. And at the same time, we can improve the soil health, which is very important, and also the health of the human beings.
Yeah.
All our health will be better. So this is wrapping up. This is where I want to go.
Oh, and maybe just your thoughts on everything that we did in this season, especially the farm in Nambitu, Farmer Joe's farm that we went and visited. What did you think about the reaction of the farmers that were there?
Oh, it was great, and I think the message was quite clear that they can see with the products what they can achieve.
Yeah.
And the feedbacks we're getting here, people are coming and buying organic liquid lime, and you know. So I think the message is there. It's just a matter of time when they realize they're making more money.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bennan, for having or trusting Green Pillars with the information of this show. And I think we've all really enjoyed ourselves, and we've learned quite a bit. And it's, this whole time, I must say, thank you for being the kind of person that you are, that for you it was never about the money, it was never about promoting the company, but it was more about trying to help, legitimately trying to help the farmers. And that's what makes Agchem stand out from the rest. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we say goodbye for this season?
Yes, I'd like to thank Fiji TV, and I think this program is wonderful. And especially you, Sania, the way you have done this project, the whole program was beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Nan.
And we all enjoy it, And I think people are looking forward every Wednesday evening to sit and watch this program.
Yes.
And I hope we can continue this.
Yes, I hope so too. I feel like there is going to be maybe another season. I don't know. I think so, right?
If there's new season, Agchem is there to sponsor it again.
There we go. So Green Pillars will be back for another season, but we're just going to take a little bit of a break. We'd like to thank you for your company, and we hope that you've actually learned something. So if you need any more information, please don't hesitate to get in contact with Agchem. The team are there, Sayed is there, Manda is there, and Mr. Ben, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you in the next season of Green Pillars.
Thank you so much.
If you're interested in purchasing any of the mentioned products, you can visit the following Agchem distributors. Or contact Agchem on the following numbers. You could even visit them in person. They're located on Wailanda Road in Lami.